Good morning on Good Friday. I'm Robert Brace. I'm not sure the disciples would have greeted you quite like that. Was it Good Friday for them? Was it a good morning? Can I suggest that as we journey together through the day, that we put aside what we know of as Sunday? Let's work through in real time, as it were, and imagine ourselves as part of the journey. Last night, Thursday night, was Passover night. Jesus and his 12 inner circle celebrated the Jewish Passover. And at the end of that, Jesus gave it a special meaning that we understand as Christian people. I'm not sure the disciples fully understood all of that at the time. However, the meal was over. They heard Jesus talking to them about the kingdom of God and events of the future and about his relationship with his Father. But again, I'm not sure the disciples would have taken all that in. And now it was night, it was time to go. And they left and went into the garden where Jesus often met and prayed. This olive grove of trees where Jesus spent time from time to time. It was night. The men were tired. It had been a long day, a very special day. Where were they going? Why were they going here? There must have been questions in their mind. And so, as I read the story of the arrest of Jesus, this first part of the story for today, I suggest perhaps close your eyes and just listen to the words and imagine yourself there. Imagine yourself experiencing the events of the night. Now, John writes in his book, in his gospel, these words. When Jesus had spoken these words being the things that he talked to his disciples after the Passover meal, he went out with his disciples across the Kidron Valley to a place where there was a garden, and they went into it together. Judas, who betrayed him, knew the place, for Jesus often met his disciples there. So Judas fetched the guard and the officers which the chief priests and Pharisees had provided him, and came to the place with torches and lanterns and weapons. Jesus, fully realizing all that was going to happen to him, went forward and said to them, "Who are you looking for?" "Jesus of Nazareth," they said. "I am the man," said Jesus. Judas, who was betraying him, was standing there with the others. When he said to them, "I am the man," they retreated and fell to the ground. So Jesus asked them again, "Who are you looking for?" And again they said, "Jesus of Nazareth." "I have told you that I am the man," replied Jesus. "If I am the man you are looking for, let these others go." Thus fulfilling his previous words, "I have not lost one of those whom you gave me." At this, Simon Peter, who had a sword, drew it and slashed at the high priest's servant, cutting off his right ear. The servant's name was Malchus. But Jesus said to Peter, "Put your sword back into its sheath. Am I not to drink the cup the Father has given me?" Then the guard, with their captain and the Jewish officers, took hold of Jesus and tied his hands together and led him off. So Jesus is arrested. How would the disciples have felt at seeing that happen? Bewildered? Angry? Fearful? Disillusioned? Things getting out of control? This was not the Jesus that they had followed for 3 years. What was going on? The noise, the weapons, the lanterns, the torches, the shouting, the aggression. How did they feel? Now, I think this event, this arrest, is the turning point in Jesus' life. Just think about it. Throughout his life, Jesus had been in control of all of the events around him. He had survived attempts on his life. He'd healed many people from all sorts of things, and he had done other miraculous things that astounded people. He had resisted Satan himself in his own private battle. He had always had an answer for his opponents. He'd controlled storms and other weather events. He'd provided food for thousands. His magnetic personality attracted all kinds of people. This happened over 3 years. Jesus had always been in control. And at this time of the year in New Zealand, you know how that might feel. Feeling out of control with the current COVID-19 experience. Well, we're not easy about that, are we? We like to be in control of ourselves and our circumstances. We don't like it when we're not. Jesus has always been in control, but now he gives it up. Now, for the first time, he's still in control of himself, but not of the events around him. In other words, he surrenders himself to the people who wished him harm and who ultimately led to his death. Jesus, fully realizing all that was going to happen to him, went forward, the story says. How did he feel? How did he feel, as it were, giving up control, probably for the first time in his life? How did the disciples feel? Jesus giving up control. So here is the turning point in Jesus' life. Here is his surrender, as we would call it. Here is the start of the Good Friday events. I've chosen some music from Handel's Messiah. 3 minutes to just give us some music to reflect on these events we talked about just now and also the events that we know are coming up. So I hope that's helpful.